Future of logistics and supply chain with AI video analytics. The topic would be given by Mr. Arush Kakkar, the CEO of Agrex.ai. Mr. Arush.
So, before I dive into the core of the presentation, let me paint for you a picture of a logistics operational utopia, where there's a large warehouse, there are a lot of trucks which are coming in as per schedule, they're dropping off those goods, getting loaded, going back out again. All the operations are happening like clockwork. The people are performing their jobs to the T. But of course, this is very hard to achieve, right? Without having any kind of insight into what is happening actually inside the warehouse. So through AI and video analytics, what we are hoping to achieve is a step in the direction of that utopia, so that at the very least, we are aware of what exactly is it that is happening on the ground level in your warehouses and other brick and mortar businesses. Because there is one statement that I stand by, which is you can't improve what you can't measure. So to improve anything, you first have to have an idea of what exactly is happening. So to introduce myself, I'm the founder of Agrex. We're a video analytics company, and we have industries, we have partners in multiple different industries, the primary one being, of course, logistics, but we are there in retail, hospitality, banking, security, hygiene, and much, much more. Most of the facilities which operate any kind of CCTV cameras, which is, almost by law should be 100%, but we're there. So I'm going to talk about how we can make our own warehouses smart using the power of AI and video analytics. And all of this happens through existing CCTV cameras and existing infrastructure. I'm here in partnership with Spectra, which is basically an end-to-end managed network service provider, where we do managed connectivity, which means everything in a physical location, everything connected to the network is taken over by us and managed as a service. And then there is AI and ML part, where there is a proactive management of your network infrastructure rather than reactive management. And Spectra is also a part of the Sham Spectra group, which is a leader in telecom and other businesses. So before I tell you what we do, let me tell you what the challenges, according to us, what we have faced with our partners. The primary challenge is that the resource utilization, the primary two resources when it comes to any physical business, is the real estate and the workforce, which a lot of decision making around that still today happens intuitively, or if any analytics is done, it is done manually, which leads to a lot of high costs, and it is also low in scalability. Decisions are taken intuitively and with experience instead of data, although the data is coming in now, but still it is mostly experience and intuitiveness. Then there is limited insight into what is actually happening inside the warehouse if you don't proactively monitor the CCTV cameras or don't have manpower inside your warehouses that can tell you actually what is happening and what is not. There is, again, loss of potential revenue. There is potential damages which happen due to SOPs not being followed primarily. So essentially what we do is we give you eyes. Through AI and video analytics, which I'm going to talk about soon, we automate a lot of monitoring tasks, supervisory tasks that are there, which require a lot of manpower. So, in India, there's a lot of people who are actually doing the job, but to make sure that they're doing the job correctly, there should be a supervisor. And over and above, there is another supervisor to manage that supervisor. So what we're hoping to achieve is to get rid of all of that process, which is subjective, low in scalability, expensive, and implement automated processes using AI to directly monitor what is the most important KPI inside your warehouses. Through existing case studies, we demonstrated a lot of reduced cost, especially almost 50% in manpower, with the most extreme cases being reducing a 150-member monitoring team to just 3 supervisors who are only there to make decisions instead of conduct supervisory roles. At the same time, the physical security of every establishment that we are implemented in is improved primarily because our security won't take a tea break, it won't take a loo break, it won't shut off its eyes for a minute, it won't watch reels on Instagram, and it will be proactively monitoring every instance that we have asked it to monitor. Then, so we're implementing video analytics primarily for these 4 reasons, where I talked about the reduced cost and increased efficiency at the same time. We're automating a lot of SOPs, SOP monitoring specifically, and we're transforming a warehouse and other associated locations like FCs, retail locations, and distribution centers into smart and secure locations, where we have implemented video analytics in a warehouse as large as 3 lakh square foot, which might have around 350, 400 cameras, down to a retail location which only has like 2 cameras and maybe 200 square feet of space. And at the same time, we've improved the customer satisfaction with the services, be it in-house services, outsourced services, or external services. This includes warehousing, trucking, distribution, delivery, packaging, the end-to-end supply chain. Wherever there is a camera to be monitored, we can develop an AI to monitor that. I'll first go into the use cases. So some of the use cases that we've demonstrated to our clients are stuff like whatever we need to monitor inside the warehouse, which is basically, the primary damage, the goods damage areas are opening of the boxes. We've noticed that there's in a lot of cases, there is stealing or theft happening due to opening of the boxes. We've been able to detect that and alert in real time so that the action can be taken. Second biggest cause of damage is throwing of the boxes. So where we've basically demonstrated that even if a small box is being thrown around, which might have sensitive items, automotive parts, we're able to detect that and alert so that the next time action can be taken, or even during that time action can be taken. For example, for an automotive parts manufacturer, we have made sure that their windshields are being packaged in a certain way and are loaded in a certain way so that damages are reduced. And the revenue loss, the damage revenue loss was reduced from almost 3% of the total revenue down to 1.5%, just by implementing one part in video analytics services. And there are other ancillary services that cause a lot of damages, people not following the SOPs, for example, people carrying the boxes on the shoulder, standing on the boxes, overloading a pallet to such an extent that the boxes all fall down. And for light items, it's all fine, but for a lot of high value items, it can lead to damages, especially at the corners of the boxes. So even damaged boxes, we can detect and report that this is a damaged box, and then action can be taken whether the damaged box came in like that or was damaged in-house, so that the dispute resolution process for logistics partners with their retail vendors can be smoother as well. I'll get into more use cases, but how do we do that? So what we have done is we have designed a camera-based monitoring system with AI, which processes the feeds in real time, such that whatever a human can do, whatever a human can see looking at the CCTV cameras, our AI can see it too. And we have 2 primary models. First is a cloud-based model, which means that we are connecting to your sites through the internet. There is only some networking changes required. We're streaming the videos and analyzing all the videos for the parameters that you have given us. And we're reporting all those SOPs primarily through a web-based dashboard, which can be accessed by anyone on the internet. This has a hierarchical login so that you can have regional managers, warehouse manager, and an HQ login as well, who can see all of what is going on, and someone down the value chain can only see what comes under his purview or her purview. And the secondary and tertiary ways of accessing all of this data is through our mobile app and through other channels like WhatsApp, email, and even other third-party integrations like APIs. If you're using a Power BI dashboard, we're integrating with that as well. And any other third-party system that you're using, a warehouse management system, ERP, or CRM, whatever is there, where we can integrate with that, or even a ticketing management system. The second way is through an on-premise installation where we're installing a proprietary analytics box, which basically doesn't stream any videos to the cloud and accesses all the videos locally and provides the same value as the cloud, except the videos are there secure on your premises. The pros and cons are basically a hardware involvement versus a purely cloud-based solution where, we all know the challenges with managing multiple distributed hardwares. So some more use cases. One of the most important use cases, for example, earlier I mentioned that you can't improve what you can't measure, is that truck turnaround times. So one of the most important resource sort of sinks is a truck sitting useless inside a warehouse because either the driver wasn't interested or the dock space wasn't available. So what we are doing is monitoring everything from when a truck enters to when the truck docks to when the unloading has started, when the loading back has started, when the truck has gone out. So after monitoring all these metrics, decisions can be taken on what to do and who is the person or where is the bottleneck that is leading to these reduced timelines for the trucks. And there are security use cases like camera tampering. So in a lot of cases, what we've discovered is that the thieves have gotten very clever where they are basically removing the camera or moving away the camera to be able to steal something. So anything like that happens where any tampering is happening through the camera, we're able to detect and report in real time. Some more use cases, but primarily we have almost 150 different parameters to be monitored inside a warehouse, and almost more than 1,000 use cases across different industries which can be useful for any physical establishment. And after this presentation, we're right outside as a part of Spectra. I am there and I'd love to have a chat with all of you about how we can add value into your supply chain and your businesses. And you're welcome to take pictures of these use cases as well. These are some of the prime time use cases that our logistics operators have been using. And more importantly, both manual warehouses and automated warehouses which have conveyor belts and require less manpower can be monitored. So like I mentioned, most of the data is available through a web-based dashboard and a mobile app. Where all the metrics are reported, all the incidents are reported in real time, and you can actually see the trends of violations go down. So once you actually implement the system and even for the first week make some decisions on it, just the fact of the people being aware that they're being actively monitored and it's not just a dumb camera that is there and someone will only access it if something goes wrong. Just the fact that people are aware that they're being actively monitored by an AI and not by a human that they can talk to and get a good word in tends to improve a lot in performance, and the rest part is taken up by the decision making that happens based on this data. And again, saying that whatever a human can see through a CCTV camera, we probably already have an AI to do that, or we can develop an AI to do that, and we can do that much more effectively. One of the most important use cases we have is what we call a CCTV doctor or a remote camera monitoring, where to be able to actually take decisions or to be able to actually run video analytics, you have to first make sure that the cameras are actually functioning. In a lot of cases, before our implementation, we found that the incident used to happen, some theft or some security breach used to happen. And then when we looked at the CCTV footage, the camera was not working either coincidentally or through design. So we actually prevent that. So your CCTV system, and this is also compliance by law, all commercial establishments are supposed to maintain a certain amount of video footage, so we help comply with that as well. Now, I've already talked about the primary ways of accessing the data and the secondary and tertiary ways as well, and we can integrate with a lot of other third-party services as well. The primary advantage that you have with using our system is everything is real time, which means that there's no delay in getting the reports, there's no delay in being alerted about a potential security breach or an SOP non-compliance, and all of this data is safe and secure. We are compliant with multiple data security certifications, so that all of this data is available only to you and cannot be accessed by any third party, even including by our teams. So all the data is secure, be it on the cloud, be it on the local deployment. And it is so easy to deploy that either the cloud or the hardware only takes less than 1 hour to deploy if all the checklists are met, and we share that in advance as well. So some of the other use cases, some of the other industries that we are present in are here, and including, our security is so good that we're actually present on the India-Bangladesh border to prevent infiltration and smuggling as well. So we're working with a lot of security agencies, including the Army and the BSF, to be able to prevent these kind of incidents happening, which had gotten more and more in the recent years, but now have gone down. Through Spectra, we have support in most of the major cities and even tier 2 cities. And currently, we have almost 50,000 cameras enabled with our AI across India and some in the Middle East as well. So we have a huge capacity for deployment, and most use cases can be developed very, very quickly. And to start with, we were one of the first companies in India to develop an indigenous thermal camera specifically for COVID requirements, through which we've gotten recognition from multiple government agencies as well. And we have taken that AI further to be able to detect a lot of, for example, fire and smoke incidents just using normal CCTV cameras. Thank you so much. These are my contact details, and I'm happy to take questions. And to repeat myself, we're right outside the gate, and we're happy to have longer conversations there as well. And as a last, as a last comment, we're already working with most of the big logistics providers, big distribution companies in India, and either through a commercial stage or a talking stage. But we understand a lot of challenges of the security and the logistics operations, and I'm happy to take more comments from you guys as well. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Can we please have a big round of applause for such amazing and wonderful session, everyone? To felicitate, I would like to call upon stage Mr. Tapasvi, GM Commercials at Arvind Limited. Please be on stage to felicitate Mr. Arush Kakkar.